Hello and welcome everyone, this is Allura SC coming to you with another video. This one is actually a tutorial video. It has been quite hotly or popularly requested by many of our viewers, so I decided to make a video for it. Now this is going to be showcasing the stall strategy for Survive the Storm 7 days. If you'd like to see this in action, do feel free to stop by my Twitch stream, which is Twitch TV/AlluraSC, which you can see at the bottom of the video. Alright, so with that being said, let's get right into it. First up, you need to set up your heroes. Alright, now you could technically use any any constructor that you would like. I personally prefer using the power base Nox. Other viable options are things like the Mega Base. There's also the what are the other constructors? I'm not very familiar with all of them, but yeah, any character with the base ability is fine to use, but any character which actually has the ability to have a rather a much larger base ability, as you can see, the power base Nox. It has the safety protocols, no, not this one, sorry. Automated defenses, increases the base connectivity by 1 building piece, and Big Brother increases base connectivity by 1 building piece. So what actually this does is that it really helps to cover the entire what you call area that you need to actually cover the entire defenses around the generator. Alright, so I prefer using the power base Nox. There are other options like the heavy base as well, that's fine. But the heavy base I would prefer not to, because it has the Nova ability, which actually kills husks a lot faster, which we don't actually want to do in this particular strategy. Now, for support slots, alright, I'm actually using the Berserker Headhunter. You can technically use any character you would like here for whatever weapon you prefer to use. If you like using pistols, put like the Beetlejuice. If you like using rifles, put the Berserker Headhunter. It really is up to you. Basically, for the support slot over here, all you want to have is some added damage, single target DPS, because you want to be killing things like smashers and bosses. Everything else you just want to leave alone. Smashers, bosses, and lobbers. Those are the 3 things that you want to kill. Everything else you want to leave alone. You want to leave them on the map, running around doing absolutely nothing. And lastly, for the slot over here, the tactical slot on the right side, you don't actually need anything at all. I'm just putting the Plasma Specialist Isa here because it's what I typically use for most of my loadouts. You can just put anything down here that just gives you stats. You don't want things like, say for example, this Trail Blaster AC Decoy periodically damages enemies within the attraction radius. We don't want this because it does more damage to big bunches of husks. All the crappy little husks will all die because of this. We don't want that. We want them staying on the map as long as possible. So I'm just going to use like an irrelevant skill perk hero here and just put her there for the stats. That's it. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the setup. Alright, so let's load into the game. Okay, we're gonna load into a 7-day Survive the Storm. Alright, so basically the concept behind this particular strategy is you basically just want to case up your generator. Alright, put on some walls around them, and you just want to keep the husk out for as long as possible without spawning in new waves of husks. Alright, because generally speaking, I don't know if the recent patch has changed anything, but the way that most of the waves have been working for these general defenses is that the very first few waves of husks that are coming at you are generally going to be a lot weaker. You wouldn't actually see things like, say for example, propane tank waves. You wouldn't see propane tank plus smasher waves. You know, they just don't spawn in at the start of any defense. So generally you'll be having things like the basic skinny husks. You're gonna have some of those tiny husks. You're gonna have things like the bone throwers, maybe a couple of lobbers here and there. and maybe some blasters as well. So any variant of that, but they generally will not spawn in propane tanks. You might occasionally get some smashes. So for this particular strategy, you do need to kill smashers. This is not an AFK strategy by any means. It is what we like to call a stalling strategy. You stall the mobs out for as long as possible, but you actually do have to manage your defenses and run around to make sure that your walls don't break. And we also have a couple of targets that we also need to kill. Okay, so now that we've loaded in already, we probably just need to check out which generators we want to be looking at. Let's see where we need to build. Okay, so let's kill off some of these husks right here. Alright, so this is the generator that we need to build. So basically just place the generator, right? Just place the generator. Alright, so just case it up. Very basic casing. You just want to case everything up, like so. Alright, put some stairs. You can use stone, you can use metal, I mean metal is technically stronger. If you like to stagger the use of your resources, you can always use stone as well. It's really up to you. Okay, then you want to upgrade, you want to make sure that you upgrade everything to tier 3. Okay, I probably won't be doing that for this video. It's just going to be a waste of resource. But I'm just going to go through the idea behind how you actually build. So what you notice right now is that I have placed a very basic wall around the generator, and after doing that I then did an additional layer of slanted walls or stairs around the sides to provide an additional layer of defense. Alright, so it's basically an inverted pyramid, if you will. Not really a pyramid, but an inverted stair, inverted slant piece. Alright, so right now we have these windowed walls here. I always get this question, Allura, why do you build these window walls? Alright, so there's actually a good reason as to why we build windowed walls. I will explain to you now why. So basically when the husks spawn in and they're trying to get at your objective, alright, what's going to happen is that there are various kinds of husks that are going to be spawning in. Alright, there's going to be melee husks, and there are also going to be ranged husks, bone throwers, lobbers, stuff like that. So generally for the bone throwers, these are the ones that we're going to be talking about because they form the majority of the ranged husks that are coming at you. When you place your walls in this particular manner, alright, what's going to happen is that the melee husks, they're going to get stuck on the outside of the wall, they can't hit inside, so they're just going to start punching these walls on the outside. Alright, very basic. Okay, here's the other part that's a little bit different. For the bone throwing husk, when they arrive at this particular, when they arrive and they see this particular sort of defense, what's going to happen is that they won't target this outer wall here because of the window. They will actually target the inner walls. Alright, now what is the purpose for this? Okay, what is the purpose for this? Now, generally like to place some of these little pyramid tiles on the side down here so that it enables us to easily run into the base. Alright, and you always want to make sure you place your base on top of these little electricity looking generator thingies. You don't want to place it over the cylinder. If you place it over the cylinder when you have to upgrade the generator later, it is going to be destroying your base. Alright, so if I place the base right here, it basically covers everything. Okay, everything is being covered right now. So you'll notice right now that my base is going to be recovering the health of my walls. Alright, the higher the HP the walls, the more percentage of the heals that you're going to be able to get off and keep your base alive a lot more easily. Okay, so conceptually, usually people would actually place a full wall because they say Allura full walls have more HP than windowed walls. This is true. 800 HP, 770 HP. Yes, definitely true. Now, as you will notice some of those little bone throwing things, okay? Later on we will start on the defense, and you will notice that how they actually behave is actually a lot different from how they targeting players, because I mean obviously the players just shoot at players, right? But let's say for example, if the defense has started, they're gonna try and come in down here. When they hit these walls, let's say for example the melee husks, they're all going to be hitting these walls, right? They're going to be hitting these walls, they're going to punch it, punch it, punch it, punch it, punch it. The range husks, the bone throwers, they're going to hit the inner walls, Alright, so something like this. So when you have two pieces of the defense being targeted for damage, it is going to be a lot easier for your base to actually heal through the damage when the damage is split. If the damage is only incoming onto a single surface, what's going to happen is that this single surface is going to receive a lot more damage stress, and your base can only heal one thing, can only heal that one thing at one time. So if you have these two tiles over here like this, if they are going to be damaged at the same time, then your base is going to be having a lot more easier time to actually heal the things up. And it also allows you as the player, because this is not an AFK defense after all, right? If you come out down here, right, and these are getting hit by damage, you come out down here, you press repair, you go in down here. If you're just running around inside down here, okay, you press repair. You're now repairing two things at one time as well. So your base alongside your repair ability is going to rapidly increase the amount of repairs, the amount of HP your walls are getting as compared to a single surface. Alright, so this is the very basic shell, or the very basic concept of this particular so-called defense. Just go ahead and upgrade everything to tier 3. You might have seen some other variants of the structure where you just add additional layers. That's just entirely up to you. You can build it however you want, but the core concept is that you want to have your base and a shell like this. Okay, so personally for me, we like to also build an additional layer over here. So I'll show you very soon. Okay, so what this does is that it just provides an additional layer of defense against what we like to call lobbers, right? Lobbers, and sometimes even flingers. Alright, with all these additional defenses up here, they cannot directly target the generator. So then they'll take a very long time to actually break their way through and hit your generator or your base. Alright, so you can just build something like that. Some archways, some floors, and you're good to go. Okay, so some additional things you can actually do as well. Perhaps you can add like stairs like this, and having a launch pad. This is something that is quite frequently used in our channel over here. We like to actually, if the husks are just piling up on these areas down here, it's going to be very hard for you to sprint and jump in. Right? Sometimes there may be latency, a lot of husks blocking your way, you can't actually jump in properly. Right? If there's nothing going on down there, that's perfectly fine. But if there's a lot of husks and you really get in very quickly, well, you can just use this jump pad. Boop. The stairs over there just sort of like push you in very nicely into the base. Alright, so yeah, you can just add on things on the side down here. It doesn't really matter. The main thing about this build is you just want to, number one, stall out the husks, have enough buildings around, have enough of these what we call building tiles around to stall them out, repair them. Okay, if you really want to, technically you could also, add things like wall launchers. So like instead of using windowed walls, you use wall launchers. This means that these outer walls are going to be targeted by bone throwing husks, but the melee husks are going to be receiving a lot more pushback, and they're not going to be able to damage your generator as well. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know when or how the event is going to change. It probably is because the mobs right now only spawn in and target A. So technically right now this is all you really need. Every other generator you could technically just build a very basic shell around it, and then they won't actually target the bases right now. This is just how the AI seems to be working since the latest patch. But that's basically it, guys. That's basically it. Windowed walls, shell around, build a base, sit down here, watch how the spawns come in, and then you're good to go. You're good to go. Hang out with your friends, watch the husks pound endlessly on your walls, and repair and keep them out. If you see any smashers, kill them. Smashers are always a top priority. Also, if you see purple lobbers, these are yellow ones. Yellow ones target players, you don't need to care about them. But if you see purple lobbers which break your buildings, those are the ones that you actually want to take care of. And yeah, if you want to do some bonuses, you can use some blue glow as well to get the building repair bonus speed. And that's really it. That's really it, guys. I think I hear a smasher somewhere. But yeah, doesn't matter guys. That's the main concept behind the stalling strategy. So I hope you guys enjoy. If any questions, do feel free to stop by our channel and say hi or ask questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.